Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health.
Who do you think you are? Taking up space. Making a scene. Indulging yourself? Oh, right. You're you. TJ Maxx, where you can afford to be you to the max.
Tomorrow, we are opening up the ET Vault to celebrate the movie milestones of Transformers, A League of Their Own, and Boomerang.
She's a very artsy-fartsy.
Oh, man. Look at girl, how you too? My name is David Allen Greer. I'm Martin right now. She throws down.
Best line in that movie? You got to coordinate.
I gotta go with Mom.
Happening now.
Enough is enough. This is ridiculous.
Family members of the victims of the Robb Elementary mass shooting and the community demanding answers. Emotions running high at today's Uvalde City Council meeting, where they're live with an update next.
The suspected driver of the tractor trailer in which more than 50 people lost their lives earlier this week, making his first appearance in federal court. Also, we speak to Sheriff Javier Salazar about some of his possible solutions for the crisis at the border.
Low chance for a couple of pop-up showers over the next few days, but what about the 4th of July? I've got that forecast for you coming up. The news at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, a wide range of emotions playing out inside Uvalde City Council meeting today. Parents, relatives, citizens, teachers voicing their anger and frustrations with the lack of answers being released in that shooting investigation.
Yeah, many of them also frightened for the start of the new school year. RJ Marquez was in Uvalde for that city council meeting. He joins us live now. And RJ, what was the response to the concerns?
Yeah, guys, well, that response, unfortunately, was nothing that these people here wanted to hear. The city council and Mayor Don McLaughlin basically reiterating that their hands are tied and they cannot release information about that shooting at Robb Elementary, that massacre. And this was a very tense and emotional, heated meeting. And the original purpose for this meeting was for the city council to discuss pending lawsuits related to the shooting and meet about 2 letters sent by state DPS and the Uvalde District Attorney's Office stating that any release of records by the city would directly interfere with those ongoing investigations by those separate departments. So after that closed door session, this meeting quickly turned into a forum for people to vent their frustrations with the lack of information that they have received. Dozens of family members of the victims were in the room at this today. They called for the removal of Uvalde District Attorney Christina Mitchell Busby, and some of the most emotional moments came from the sister of Irma Garcia. That is one of the teachers who died.
These kids were obliterated. My sister was obliterated. It was a closed casket. I couldn't hug her. I couldn't touch her. I couldn't say my last goodbye. How do you sit here with, I don't know, I have no control. It's the freaking DA. There has to be some help. We're asking you for your help.
What is the city doing to help us, our kids, our families? What are y'all doing? You know, you're not doing anything. We're not getting any answers, zero justice, nothing.
Yeah, and as you guys could hear, they're obviously very heated, very emotional, but not present today. City Council member and Uvalde School District Chief Pete Arredondo. So this counts as Mr. Arredondo's second consecutive missed meeting, meaning that a third missed meeting could lead to his removal. The mayor today saying that that is something that the council is prepared to do if it came to that. And he also said that he has not had any contact with Pete Arredondo since Arredondo asked for a request of leave from absence from those council meetings, which of course has been denied. Reporting live from Uvalde, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, RJ. Another tragic case of human smuggling happening in South Texas today. 4 immigrants killed, 2 more critically injured in a crash around 8:30 this morning. And this is what we know. Among the victims were 2 men from Guatemala and 1 from Mexico. The 4th man has not been identified. The 3 people injured are the driver, who is from the U.S., 1 person from Guatemala, and another from Mexico. DPS tells us the driver is in critical condition. They say he was fleeing a traffic stop in Laredo and drove about 40 miles north, where he crashed in Encinal. DPS believe the driver was speeding and lost control before he rear-ended a parked semi-trailer.
The United States Supreme Court ruling to end the Remain in Mexico policy, which was put in place in 2019 under the Trump administration. It was a 5-4 vote, with Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh joining the liberal justices in this decision. It means non-Mexican citizens who are in the U.S. will no longer be sent to Mexico to wait while their immigration cases are handled.
The suspected driver in the 53 tractor-trailer deaths appeared in federal court for the first time today. Homer Zamorano Jr. is charged with human smuggling resulting in death.
But those deaths are just a handful of the people who try to cross the border every day. Garrett Berger talked with Sheriff Javier Salazar, who says he plans to present solutions to the White House. Garrett, what did the sheriff have to say today?
Well, the day after police found dozens of bodies in and around a tractor trailer, Sheriff Javier Salazar typed a letter to President Biden asking for a meeting with him and other Texas sheriffs from urban counties. He says he's heard back from the White House and he plans to bring possible solutions to the table. But Salazar did not provide us with a list of his solutions, saying they were not written down and he was still developing them as he talked to immigration experts and other sheriffs. The ones he mentioned us, though, included making legal entry into the United States easier, allowing migrants to work legally, and federal funding for cities and counties that would be considered migration hubs. In his letter, Salazar referred to Governor Greg Abbott's border enforcement actions as, quote, an ineffective farce of an effort. And he told us that the state's effort to arrest migrants has an effect on local jails.
So they're taking a prison system that's already got too few guards for what they need. They're clogging it up with people that committed Class B misdemeanor, that are accused of a Class B misdemeanor, and which is putting them behind on picking up hardened criminals from jails like mine.
As for Homero Zamorano, the suspected driver, the U.S. Attorney's Office has asked he be detained pending trial. There'll be a hearing on that next week. If convicted, Zamorano could be sentenced to life in prison or even the death penalty. Now, 3 other men have also been arrested in relation to this tractor-trailer case. I'm Garrett Berger here in the newsroom for KSAT 12. Steve, Patty.
Thanks. And we have new details about a fatal crash on I-10 yesterday. The 53-year-old man killed near Fresno is identified as Kevin Michael Genty. His car was hit by a pickup truck that was trying to exit the highway yesterday. San Antonio police say the truck was having issues before the driver decided to exit. Genty died at the scene. No one else was hurt.
A woman shot and killed near St. Mary's University on Tuesday, identified as 37-year-old Melissa Garces. San Antonio police say she was shot in the 200 block of Woolley Street in a vehicle with her boyfriend when they got into an argument about money with people in another car. Someone in that other car fired the shots. Garces, the only person hit. No arrests have been made. The San Antonio Police Department investigating a deadly shooting involving a husband and wife as well. This happened in the 2200 block of Burnett around 8 this morning. That's on the east side. SAPD says it started as a family disturbance, quickly escalated when the man pulled out a gun.
The wife and him struggled over the gun. He knocked her to the ground and shot her in the head.
Investigators say that man then turned the gun on himself. He has not been identified. At last check, the woman was in stable condition.
SAPD is also investigating a home invasion on the south side. This happened about 5 this morning on Emerald Ash in between Pleasanton and Morrison Road near Loop 410. Officers say they got a call for shots fired. Blood and shell casings were found at the scene.
The woman who lived there said she and her boyfriend woke up to 2 men with guns inside the apartment after the door was kicked down. She said the men were looking for someone else who lives there. She also said she managed to get away, but she was not sure where her boyfriend was. Officers did receive run report of a man with a bloody face wandering around that complex. SAPD could not confirm whether it was actually the same person.
All right, let's take a look outside right now to your evening commute. This is a 90 at Couples. You can see traffic moving pretty smoothly out there. I know I saw a lot of people on the road today, probably heading out for an early holiday, right?
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that. Definitely a lot of people in that mindset.
Yes, I can't say I blame them.
No.
I love a long weekend.
We're jealous.
Love a holiday weekend.
Yeah, we are.
A little bit of that too, for sure. Any folks heading out on the roads to get out of town, you will want the sunglasses. Make sure that visor shade works well because you'll get a lot of use out of it. We got a lot of sun out there, just a few little showers on radar and plenty of heat. It's 103 in Del Rio, 100 in Eagle Pass. Thank you, Talia, for calling in that temperature for us today. 98 in Mico, 96 in Bulverde. So our weather watchers had their hands full a few days ago with some rainfall totals, not so much now. Just some early summer sizzle for us here. A look at radar does show it's really quiet across the majority of the area up towards Concan, northern Kinney County around Rock Springs. We've got a couple returns there indicating some really spotty showers. And essentially until the sun goes down, I can't rule up a quick hitting pop-up shower. But as the team has been saying, it's going to be nothing like what we were dealing with about 48 hours ago with that widespread shower activity. Otherwise, warm and muggy this evening, 90 at 8 o'clock, 85 at 10 p.m. We'll talk more about the next few days, get you a sneak peek of the 4th of July forecast here in just a bit. Guys.
Thank you, Katie. The fight against climate change getting a bit more challenging. Today, the Supreme Court issued a ruling that not only cuts back on the Environmental Protection Agency's authority in general, but it also limits the EPA's capacity to broadly regulate carbon emissions from existing power plants. The ruling a defeat for the Biden administration's attempts to slash emissions amid concerns over global warming.
Another meeting today for the January 6th House Select Committee, but this one with former Labor Secretary Eugene Scalia was behind closed doors. Scalia reportedly met with top officials after the Capitol riot, suggesting then President Donald Trump should resign. Republican Vice Chair Liz Cheney says that will be the focus of the next few hearings, looking into whether members of the Trump cabinet discussed invoking the 25th Amendment. The panel has also subpoenaed former White House counsel Pat Cipollone. ABC News reporting negotiations are happening over terms of his potential testimony.
For many families, not knowing where their next meal is coming from is a reality, but there are solutions. Fighting food insecurity, the topic of our latest Solutionaries episode, where we try to find answers to common problems. Here's a sneak peek.
When it comes to food insecurity, that's a term used for families that don't know where their next meal's coming from. The mobile mercado is designed to do just that. It is designed in some ways to provide hydration to the food desert.
Starting at 5:30, the latest episode of Solutionaries will be streaming on KSAT.com, KSAT's YouTube channel, and KSAT Plus. Head over to KSAT.com to find out how you can watch, click like, and subscribe.
All right, ready, set, jet. 4th of July weekend is upon us, and that means San Antonio International Airport is getting ready to see a lot more foot traffic. And that means, of course, waiting in line, especially in those TSA lines, to help make those lines go faster for you and everywhere else. TSA says preparing starts at home.
Empty out the luggage that you're going to bring as a carry-on before you pack it so that you know exactly what's in it. The number one excuse we get from travelers is, oh, I forgot it was in my bag, with that look of surprise.
Very important that you empty the bag 100%, whether it's a carry-on, whether it's a backpack, whether it's a briefcase. Empty it 100%. Take everything out of the bag. Dump the bag 3 times on the outside, repack it so that you know exactly what's in your bag.
The joys of traveling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, TSA says arriving on time is also important. They recommend 2 hours ahead for domestic flights and 3 hours ahead for international flights. Well, if you're skipping the holiday travel and splurging instead, a new month means new deals. What you can save on during the month of July and where to look for those Independence Day deals coming up. Well, looking ahead to the news at 6, the United States Supreme Court allowing the Biden administration to end the Remain in Mexico policy of the Trump administration. Alicia Barrera with what that could mean for asylum seekers.
And gun safety, school safety, the abortion ban, and border security. We're going to talk about what is happening or not happening in Austin on these topics that have been in the headlines for the last several weeks. Scott Braddock of the Quorum Report is in our KSAT Q&A today. It's coming up tonight on the news at 6.
New at 5, hot deals. 4th of July sales are already kicking in, and later in the month, Amazon has its Prime Day, which gets other retailers in on the price slashing act. It's practically Black Friday in summer. So 12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz has a look at what to buy in July.
As we head into the Independence Day weekend, there are some star-spangled sales.
We see a ton of deals around mattresses especially, as well as large appliances.
Consumer Reports tracks prices on its top tested products all year. Here's what's discounted in July. The Ghost Bed Memory Foam Mattress. The queen size is now on sale for $977 at Ghost Bed. That's about $400 off. Now those appliances. This LG refrigerator is one of the best French door fridges CR tested this year. It's now priced at about $3,100 at the Home Depot, $700 off. And this LG washing machine is a CR Best Buy. It's on sale for $599 at Best Buy, the Home Depot, and LG. Mark your calendar for July 12th and 13th. It's prime time.
In the middle of July, we have Amazon Prime Day. It's one of the best times to shop of the year. You'll see deals comparable to Black Friday, and not just at Amazon. Other major retailers will have sales as well.
It's not even July and Amazon has already launched its early Prime deals. It's mostly smart home devices and other technology. And one more sizzler of a sale. This Kamado Joe Classic 2 is marked down by nearly $400, on sale for about $900 at Amazon and Walmart, just in time for those holiday hot dogs. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
She said hot dogs. That's yummy.
Yeah.
Ready for some of that.
There you go. Well, it's definitely feeling like the 4th of July out there.
And, you know, at least we can think back earlier this week on that glorious rain that we had, even though it'll be hot this weekend. At least Mother Nature tossed us a little bit of a bone here earlier in the week. For now, it's really just hot. Couple of spotty showers the next couple of afternoons, and then that's really about it. I want to start you off. You know, Patty mentioned earlier maybe some folks heading out of town for the holiday weekend a little bit early. If your plans do take you down to our Gulf beaches, Port A area, Corpus Christi, our weather intern Amanda helped me out with this graphic and got you ready for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, waves 3 to 4 feet. Rip current risk, thankfully, will be nice and low both days this weekend, despite the tropical disturbance that's out in the Gulf of Mexico. And don't worry, we're going to talk all about that here in just a few. I want to show you the difference in temperatures because of the cloud cover due to that disturbance. It is 80 in Houston with a lot of high, thin clouds. Meanwhile, 97 here in San Antonio and 100 in Hondo. The kind of cloud cover that we've got across our area are just those puffy cumulus clouds. There's a lot of rain with this disturbance, but it's sitting out over the Gulf of Mexico for the most part. This is a very unorganized area of showers and storms. The center of circulation is down here to the southwest, actually a little bit closer to Corpus Christi, but all the moisture is way up near Houston and even closer to the Louisiana Gulf Coast. So this is a very lopsided system, and that's a key indicator that it's very weak and very disorganized, and it really doesn't have a lot of time to get its act together. So essentially what you need to know about this system out there in the Gulf is that it's going to dump some heavy rain, but it's going to be east of us. We're talking the Houston area, and then along the Gulf Coast over to Louisiana. Some spots closer to the Texas-Louisiana state line there along the Gulf Coast are looking at 6+ inches of rain. North of Houston, 2+ inches. Down near the Galveston area, they're going to get several inches of rain here over the next few days. But look at us. Really not much to see here. Our rain accumulation next couple of afternoons will be due to some spotty, and I mean very spotty, pop-up showers that will, if you're lucky, result in around or less than 1/4 inch of rain. After that, through the July 4th holiday, our rain chances completely fall off the board. So out there now, just some of those puffy cumulus clouds. 97 at the airport, feeling like 99. Not much to see as far as radar is concerned. In fact, it's really most busy up near Rock Springs and in Edwards County, just south of Rock Springs, or right around town there. We've got a nice little downpour that has popped up. There were some downpours south and east of San Antonio along the sea breeze, but those have pretty much fizzled out. So we'll hold on to a really low chance through about sunset for a little pop up here or there, but that will be about it. Quiet overnight, a few clouds to start the day tomorrow, and your temperatures out the door near 75, so warm and muggy to start the day tomorrow. As we head into tomorrow afternoon, again, hottest part of the day. A few little pop-ups will be possible. Most of us will miss out, and we're looking at really just a hot end to the work week. Looking ahead for your fireworks forecast for Monday evening. It looks like it's really just going to be warm and breezy with mostly clear skies. Rain won't be an issue for any fireworks shows Monday afternoon. We're back near the century mark, guys.
20%. So you're saying there's a chance. I'm holding on to that.
I like that, Patty.
Cross our fingers. Cross our fingers on that one. All right, we're getting more details on what was involved and who was involved in the DeJounte
in fact,
trade.
It's another Spurs player that's also going to Atlanta. When we come back, more details on the DeJounte Murray trade is sending him to Atlanta, including a protected draft pick and a new penalty proposed for Deshaun Watson. Coming up. Spurs fans, for the most part, are still reeling from the Spurs trade of star point guard DeJounte Murray to the Atlanta Hawks for 3 first-round draft picks beginning in 2023 and the swap of a future first-round draft pick as well. But there is an update. Now for the first round in 2023 from Atlanta, it is protected, but the other 2 first-round picks in 2025 and 2027 are not. And also part of the deal now is center Jock Landale will be sent to the Hawks along with DeJounte. The Spurs are still expected to buy out Danilo Gallinari's contract. Had to be bought out by yesterday, but that deadline, according to reports, was extended until July 8th. If not, it would have been paid in full at $21.5 million. By extending the deadline, the Spurs may owe Gallinari more than $5 million. Now, Chicago reportedly interested in that forward. First reaction today from the Spurs Summer League camp.
Obviously, things that happened yesterday and things that could happen in the future out of our control. That's for the front office to take care of. But we just control what we can control and focus on getting better each and every day and just try to take advantage of those opportunities when they're there.
All right, here's a look at the trade. It's been updated now because that first pick in 2023 is protected. The rest is as it says, and then Jock Landale added to the Hawks, as well as DeJounte Murray. And look who's back in town for his second stint with the Spurs. Brett Brown today was named an assistant coach to Greg Popovich. Brett used to be a head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers from 2013 through 2020, posting 3 straight 50-win seasons, 3 straight playoff appearances. Now he'll help Pop with the team's rebuilding effort. Brown was an assistant for the Spurs for 11 seasons off and on, and was even part of the staff during 4 of the 5 NBA championships from 99, 2003, 2005, and 2007. Now he has returned to the Alamo City.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
As the Deshaun Watson hearing resumes in front of disciplinary officer Sue L. Robinson, a new possibility has risen as part of his punishment. The NFL is still insisting that Watson be issued an indefinite suspension and miss at least 1 full season without pay for violating the league's personal code of conduct during multiple massages. But if he only misses the 2022 season without pay, he's only giving up $1 million of a $230 million guaranteed contract. To penalizing more, according to NBC, he could be asked to give up $10 million he made last year and a portion of his signing bonus this year. So that could get another $4 million just on the partial signing bonus. So they're discussing all that right now. They hope to have the final briefs in by tomorrow.
That's what I was going to say. When are we finally going to know what they decide?
And maybe next week.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
All right, thanks, Greg. We'll be right back.
All right, the rain chance I have for you tomorrow and Saturday is nothing compared to what we were looking at earlier in the week, but nonetheless, in the afternoon and early evening, a few little pop-ups are not out of the question. By Sunday, even that low rain chance falls out of the forecast, and it will be hot and sunny for the 4th of July. Guys.
We're kind of used to that by now, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching the news at 5.
World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6.